Okay, Mansa. So we were going to discuss about Bitbucket and GitHub. So have you ever worked on that, GitHub and Bitbucket?
No,
Okay, not.
Bitbucket I did not work. Git I have worked. GitHub
Okay, so
also not work.
okay, so you might be aware. So why do we use Bitbucket and why do we use GitHub?
No idea.
Okay, okay. So it's a version controlling tools. So GitHub and Bitbucket. So we have if you are using SVN, so that is also a part of that. So actually, if let me tell you, so what is Bitbucket and GitHub? So today we are going to see about Bitbucket and how to use Bitbucket and how to like what's the benefit of that. So generally, so what was happening previously, like what was happening like without Bitbucket. So let's say you are the developer, I'm the developer. We both are working in the same company. So I written some code. Okay, I written some code, and you also written some code. So we want to deploy from sandbox to production. Okay, so I deployed from sandbox to production. In production previously, I have I had like few lines of the codes. Let's say some functionality was working perfectly on the production. Okay, so let's say this is my sandbox. This is my production. So in sandbox, so we in production, so we had we had only five line of code, and functionality was working fine. Exactly, absolutely, it was working fine. But what happened? So client wants, so I want to add one more functionality in the production. They want one more functionality in production. So what happened? So we have created the some functionality. We tested everything in the sandbox. Okay, we created everything, and so one more functionality we created in sandbox. Finally, if it is working fine, then we are going to deploy to production. So what happened? So because of new functionality, my existing functionality is also broken. Okay, so because of new functionality, my existing functionality is also broken. So what happened? So that time we won't be able to recover all the things whatever we had previously, whatever code we had previously, that is also overridden by new code. Like we don't have any backup for that. We don't have any backup process while the deployment, right? So this is one cause. Like this is one cause, like this is we cannot take any backup, we cannot keep any backup, because like for that this is uh, this issue is happening. Okay, so second issue is, let's say I'm the junior Salesforce developer, or even I'm the senior Salesforce developer. So what happened? Let's say I'm the junior Salesforce developer, and there is my team leader in a team. Okay, so if I created each and everything in the sandbox, functionality is also working fine. So after doing everything, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to deploy the code to production. Okay, so if candidate will go to code, they won't be able to understand what like which line I written, and where they need to review the code. Like I need to tell them, I need to tell to my team leader, okay, please go to line number 60, go to line number 600, like whatever the line I added, so please check that one. And mistakenly I forget to tell them, like this line please check to line number 25 as well. Okay, so in that scenario, so they are not able to review the code properly. So the reviewing the code is very tough in this scenario. Okay, so they want to review whatever I added. Is this correct, or in the future this will create some issue? Okay, let's say functionality is working. I'm writing the DML inside the for loop mistakenly, and if they want to review, okay, and I told them each and every line, but apart from that for loop, okay, mistakenly I missed, and they also not aware this is existing functionality code or this is new functionality legacy code. To overcome this issue as well, to like missing everything and all review code, so we have second issue. To overcome for that, we'll use the Bitbucket. Okay, so this is the thing. And third thing is let's say we are different developer, so if we want to track that things, like which developer done what thing. Okay, we want to track each and everything in case of with the help of Bitbucket. Okay, so all these things we get developer tracking and number of line tracking, code reviewing, and like code reviewing permission as well. So do we need to deploy it? So they will tell, yeah, we can deploy it. If it deployed, then we can approve the pull request and then we can go ahead. Okay, this is the thing. So now let's go to Bitbucket now. So what is the flow of the Bitbucket? So let's say at the initial time, so we should have few software over there. One is source tree. There is one source tree. So source tree is looks like, let me just open source tree. So this is a software which we need to install in our system. Okay, so what source tree will do? So if you have your Bitbucket account or company provided you the Bitbucket account, that will automatically be linked with your source tree. That will automatically be linked with your source tree. So this is my source tree, whatever you are able to see now. Okay, so now in this scenario, so let's say requirement source tree is needed. So in this scenario, what happened? So one requirement is like coming in a company. One requirement is coming in a company. So whatever requirement we got in a company, so we have to write a code for that, right? We have to write the code for that. Whatever code we written in this for the functionality. So after doing all these things, what we want to push in the Bitbucket. So how we will do? So we'll go to first we'll go to Bitbucket and we'll do the checkout. Checkout means we are going to take a backup from, we are going to extract the code from Bitbucket to our local system, means our local repository, means in the any folder. Okay, so after doing all these things, so we will just open the class name, whatever class we have, we will open it and we'll copy the code and we'll paste there. Okay, so finally what will happen then, we will get the reflected whatever changes we have, will get it in the source tree and we can commit and that will be pushed to Bitbucket. So let me just show you the practical example. And apart from this, there are one more thing which you need to understand. So before that, we have some branches here. We have one repository. So we have few things here in the Bitbucket. We have repository. So what is first we have repository. So what is repository? Repository is nothing. So repository is let's say this is my repository. If I'll go to desktop, so this is my desktop repository. If I'll go to screenshot, this is my screenshot repository. We can say it's like a folder. We can say it's like a project. So if I'll go to desktop, so I have multiple folders. Like under this one repository, we have multiple folders. So if I'll go to this repository, under this we have multiple things. If I'll go to this repository, I'll get multiple things. These are the repository as a folder. So repository is nothing, it's a project. Under this repository, we can have multiple things. Okay, so then we'll get the branch. Okay, so we under the repository will have a branch. Let's say I selected, so this is my let's say my project name is this is my project name is test. So test is my project name. So I created a repository with test name. Under this repository name, what I have done, so I'll create a branch. Okay, what is branch here? So branch is whatever things we have in this Salesforce production, will take a backup and we'll push the code to one branch. So whatever material we have, like workflow, process builder, Apex code, Apex, each and everything, whatever you have in Salesforce apart from data, so every metadata should be there. Everything, each and everything, 0 to 100%. So you will push the things from a production to Bitbucket in the branch. So first you will have a master branch. This like whatever original code you are getting from production to branch, that is a master branch. Okay, that master branch you will get original code. You won't, like, this is not a dummy code, this is not a fake code, this is the original code. You can't make any changes in this one directly, because that is a loss of data, loss of code. If you directly, even you won't get any permission to directly make changes in this one, because this is like a production code. We can say this is a very quality code, right? So you are understanding what I'm explaining, right?
Yes, Amarjit.
Okay. Fine. So whatever data we have in the master branch, that is very original code. We directly can't make any changes to. So now let's say my new requirement is coming in a company. So we need to write some extra code or extra class. So that time what we will do, we will create one new branch from the master branch. We will create one new branch from the master branch. We will do the clone of this branch. Let's say is a production, we have sandbox. So we create a sandbox from the production. So we can say sandbox is a clone of production. The same way we have in this branch. So this is my, you can consider this is production, not real time, for understanding purpose I'm saying. Master branch. So from this branch, you can create the one new branch. Okay, so that is, we can say it's a dummy branch. No, dummy means you can say anything, any name. So for that I'm saying the dummy branch. So when you will create the branch, the whatever things you have in this branch, so everything will be copied from the master branch, and that will come everything in the this dummy branch. This is new branch, this is my old branch. So whatever data you have, each and everything, whatever original data you have, so original data we already transferred from master branch to dummy branch. Okay, so now what we have to do now, so now we need to take a backup from this dummy branch. Backup, we need to take a checkout. So whatever checkout will be there, so everything will be stored in our local folder, in the local repository. So in local repository, so if I'll show you like on the let's say this is my local, this is related to my from there I'm getting it. Let's say these are my Apex classes. So everything is coming from there only. Okay, everything is coming from there only. So so what happened now, or some requirement is coming in a company. Okay, so now if I'm changing something or I'm adding a new class, so first where I will, in the Bitbucket we have multiple things, repository, master branch and custom branch. So what will I do? So whatever changes I made in the Salesforce, then I will push to, I'll be transfer from Salesforce to your custom branch only, like dummy branch only, not master directly. So when I'm pushing the changes from Salesforce to this branch, dummy branch, after that I will create one pull request. There is, after the branch we have one more thing, is a pull request, PR. We say generally in a short PR. Okay, so we'll create one PR. So what is the use of PR? So when I will create the pull request, and I will add as a reviewer as my senior developer, like as my team leader, my manager, and some on-site, off-site developers and all. So what will be happen when I will create the PR? So whatever code difference is between this branch and this branch, whatever code difference, let's say there was one class A, it was class name, Apex class name is A, and it's the same class name is A there. So I added one small method in the A class. So definitely it will be difference, like extra things we have in this branch, that extra thing we will not get in this branch. Then we'll create one PR. What PR will do? What PR will does? So it will show the difference between branch master and branch dummy. It will show the difference, what code difference you are going to merge. So when I created the PR, then it will show the code difference, and then finally if developer is able to see the code, they will able to see the particular that code, whatever the difference is only, whatever the difference is only. So then they will approve the pull request, and then whatever, if they will, everything seems fine, then it will merge from this code to like this code to this branch only directly, if everything seems okay. Because if after that, let's say after 20 days, after 1 month, some functionality is broken in the production, so then no one can say to us, so what you did, because we are not the responsible of the wrong code, because our manager or our senior Salesforce developer is also approved this pull request. Okay, so now finally if I'm approving this one, so there might be some Jenkins functionality or something like this, so then it will automatically be deployed to your sandbox or production. You got it or not, what I explained?
Yes, Amarjit.
Okay.
Actually, I have done all this process, but I failed to explain what I have done.
Okay, you already done. Then why you told me I
Yes.
explained? I took it
I
like that
have
much of
used
focus.
Git repo, Git repository. The same process followed in Git repository also.
Ha.
Creating a
Okay.
pull request and pushing to the other environments, master
Ha.
branch.
Okay, you know then.
Yeah, I
Okay,
know, but I failed to explain.
okay, no worry, no worry.
Now I got it. Now I
Okay, okay.
got it.
Shall I show you or you can do it? Yeah, they
I
will
can
know.
do it. But in the Bitbucket, I was not aware.
The same way. Bitbucket and GitHub both are the like process same for both the things.
Okay.
So, Hurmat, you already done these things, right? You are doing in a company, right?
I'm doing.
आपकी आवाज ही नहीं आ रही यार.
अभी आ रही है क्या? हेलो.
हाँ, आ रही है.
मैं हाँ, I have also done this. I mean, Bitbucket I have done.
Yeah, great,
So I
great.
know it.
Okay, fine. So these are the things what I was trying to explain. Okay, so I
I
think
just wanted to know,
yeah.
like, in Bitbucket, there's something we get in comments like Git. Like sometimes I see some commands of Git or something. So is Bitbucket related to Git or something like that?
Both are interlinked.
Like
If
how?
I'll
And
go,
you
if I'll go there, so you might be see some GitHub as well in the like branches and also if
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
so I don't know. This is a Git flow. Okay, this is a Git flow. Okay, this is interlinked. Both are
Yes.
the integrated. So how it is integrated that I don't know.
Okay. And
Because
this
this is GitHub developer only. Yeah. Sorry.
this source branch tree you showed, like that this is an application. But in our Bitbucket, I didn't. Means I see the source tree in the Bitbucket itself, but there is nothing separately. Some different software is not there. Means for source tree, like I have the Bitbucket, like we can
So
go
I know
directly to the.
what you are doing, what you do in a company. So let's say if I'm going to my Bitbucket, okay. So what you do actually, you directly online committing the data. Online you are copying the data, you are pasting it, right?
Yes.
So
This
that is not
source
a best practice actually.
that is not a. No, like I'm not commenting here. I am not commenting the data here. Like uh, means in the VS code we have our branches. Okay, in the VS code we have our branches. Here we have the main branch. Okay.
Okay. You are committing the data from VS Code only, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Only
That so
we come.
in our case, we are using a source tree. In your case, you are using VS Code. Not an issue.
Oh, okay. We can use source tree also. I was
Yes.
not knowing.
Yes. Right.
You mean like source tree is an editor for pushing the code?
So what we do? Let me show you the source tree.
Like you have this app, right? We don't have this app source tree. That's
huh.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So anyone, this is
We
very like
also do with VS Code only.
this is very important, very famous app, and like there are lots of things professional candidates do all these things, and uh, not saying you are not professional in VS Code, but yes, that's very important. Okay, so let me just take a check out and let me just show
Yeah,
you.
we have this kind of source tree. Okay, like in the Bitbucket itself, we have this source tree. Left side, we see that source tree. Okay,
In
but
a VS Code.
no, in the Bitbucket, we see the source tree.
Okay, in your scenario you see, but in my scenario,
And your Bitbucket is also looking different to me. I don't know why.
okay. So this
Like
is a
this pull request.
I think you are using duplicate like some this is original.
I, no. This is there. Like branches, commits, pull requests. These are all there.
Because TCS is not a like genuine company, na.
Aha.
So they are using fake software.
No. I don't know you, but that is For sure, I know it.
Okay, just kidding. Yeah. Huh. So no worry. Don't know why they are, but like which kind of software they are using or no. Like don't not aware. Yeah. So let me just open one of the uh, folder and let me just check if we have.
Everything doing in the source tree. Like instead of VS Code, you are doing in the source tree, right?
Exactly.
How you're writing the code here? Where you're
I'm
writing the
not.
code?
I'm not writing the code here. I'm writing the code in developer console only, and and then I am just copying and paste the there in the notepad, and whatever things will be there, then it will be reflected here. What's the difference is?
Okay. Okay. What we do is we directly do everything in VS Code itself.
हम्म तारा क्यों नहीं भाई पता नहीं क्या दिक्कत हो रही है दूसरी ब्रांच से ले रहा हूँ हाँ so what when we take a checkout then might be it will be like go to your VS Code but in our case that is not a VS Code that is a Bitbucket sorry is a source tree okay these are the repository this is repository these are repository recent repository we have two repository
We have also repositories.
might be from your project name right
Yes.
okay
Like with the releases, they give the repository name. Which release is this? Like that. Like for you also release is there, right?
yes
Yeah. Like this, we have also repositories.
hmm.
Artificial, yeah.
So these are the things so which like we need to take a backup for that and we need to do the things let's say I'm going to take a checkout so you might also have a checkout option right
Yes. So what we do is in the VS Code, we like how you said, like there will be a main branch. From main branch, we will clone it and we'll make our own branches. Okay.
mm-hmm.
So in also we have our own branches. In that, whatever the code we will put it there, we will pull. Pull means it will pull all the latest thing from the main branch to the our own branch, and whatever we will make the changes, then we will push it, and then we will commit it. Once we will commit it, okay, then we can come to Bitbucket and we will create a pull request. Okay, after committing we will create a pull request and we will give the approvers who will check our code, and then if everything is fine, they will approve it and merge it like that,
हाँ
from local branch to main branch.
हाँ तो ये प्रोसेस रहता है सब जगह देखो थोड़ा डिफरेंस तो रहता ही है बट हाँ सो वो तो है हाँ बाकी तो ये it was the related version controlling okay and you know about both you know Jira and all Confluence
जीरा जीरा तो यूजर स्टोरी के लिए यूज होता है ना.
yes and Mansa you know Jira
No, I don't know Jira, but I have
Dhanya
worked on ALM.
sorry
ALM, application
Acha
lifecycle
might be
management.
your company is using a different software so Jira for you know so you know have you ever heard about Jira
I have heard, but I never worked on it.
okay so that's like you should know only like what is it
Okay.
Manisa, ALM is for research purpose you will be using it, right? Or for user story purpose also you are using.
Sorry?
ALM, sorry, application. Yeah. So ALM application, yeah. That you are using for defect purpose or for user story.
For defect purpose. Actually, I have worked on a defect fixing.
Oh
So
yeah.
defects will be assigned to us and we will pick up the defects and we do all
Yes.
those changes, whatever as per the requirement.
Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah. Even I am also like we have Jira also, we have ALM also. So I was knowing that ALM is for defect. So that's why I asked. Okay.
Yeah, actually, I have worked as a like worked on defect fixing.
Okay, okay, okay. Got it.
So in our company, we are using both Dhani and Jira.
Sorry?
In my company, we are using both Dhani and Jira. So
Garlic.
Mansa, you know
Garlic
Dhania?
also.
Yeah, I know.
You know, okay, fine.
Coriander, right?
So are you using Dhania and Jira
No.
at your home?
Yes, yes, I do.
Yeah, my parents is also aware from Jira. They are also work on Jira. Yes, they are professional. We can say so. Okay, okay, fine. Uh, so let's start then. So let's continue with the same questions again. Okay, so let's say I have a one question here. Let's say I'm the manager of both of you. I'm not, but let's say, okay, what? So I'm very strict against the work and all. I'm very strict. So what I'm saying? So your login hours is like morning 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock. After 6 o'clock, you don't need to work on your sandbox. Means I didn't set any login hours, but as a company policy, you can't log in from your home. Okay, understand the requirement. So you can't log in from your
Yeah.
home, but what I'm saying, you should not log in from your home. If I'll get to know that you are logging from home, then next day you can directly discuss with your HR so you can lose your job. Okay.
Okay.
In that scenario, let's say you have some requirement which you decided that I will deliver by tomorrow, and anyhow you are not able to deliver. And you said to manager, yeah, it is about to complete, even you didn't start the work. Okay, so that's that time. If you want to assign that if you want to log in to your home and you want to work on night time, how will you do it? And in like one more thing, as an email in the user email, so your manager email is there, not your email. You want to, and you have in office you have different laptop, and that will be office laptop, and not laptop, it's a system, it's PC, office PC. Okay, you cannot bring at your hometown on your home, and you have your personal laptop, you want to work on your personal laptop, and email is user email is your manager email. You got it, a requirement or not?
Yes.
So then manager also should not get to know, and then how will you do it?
अपना
Like,
लॉगिन आईपी रेंज चेंज कर देंगे.
sorry,
लॉगिन आईपी रेंजेस चेंज कर देंगे.
क्या चेंज करोगे?
कंपनी प्रोफाइल में होता है ना लॉगिन आईपी रेंजेस.
हाँ, होता है, means I know, like what will you change?
Then we can give our
We
IP
keep the
of our
Then what is the what will be the use of that?
then we will be able to connect from our laptop.
No, we, like, if I'm not setting the IP range, then what will be impact of that?
See, login IP ranges, within that login IP range only you can work. If you are working apart from that login IP range, then you will not be able to log in, I guess. Yeah, that is the use of that.
You will not be able to log in, right?
Yeah.
IP range is like always strict to any other like unknown user person, right?
Right.
Huh. So then how will you do it?
मुझे तो यही लग
you
रहा,
mean
मुझे
like
नहीं पता.
Anujit, the solution of IP range is this correct one or else? It's
See,
not correct one. If it is correct one, then I think we have to place in the IP ranges from 0.0.0.02, like 255 or something.
no, that 255, 255 is a global IP ranges. So what does it mean? So if we'll set the global IP range, then any person can log in from that IP range. But if in your profile or particular profile, if you are setting the IP range, let's say you are, Hurmat, you are right. So if you are setting your IP range, let's say you want to log in my Salesforce account, and there is my own email ID. Okay, I don't like, you don't want to send any verification code to me.
Yeah.
You want to log in and you don't want to
Okay.
send any verification code to me, and you want to log in directly. In that scenario, you will go to login IP range only, and from particular profile only. Under that profile, we have latent list is login IP ranges. So over there, you will set it the IP range. And what Mansa is saying, that is also correct. So if you are doing 255, 255, 255, my point. So in that scenario, so it will be global IP range, means anyone can log in without any verification code. That is a global
Yeah.
IP range. Okay. Apart from this,
Yeah.
if I want to set the IP range on the organization level, then that is a profile level.
Profile level means where we
No.
have to go.
No, profile level you explained, but what I'm saying is organization level, means all the profile can do this thing.
So in the
In the setup, there is login IP ranges, right?
No, network access policy.
Sorry, network access.
Policy.
where it is
Hello.
means I'm not getting
Setup.
you.
In setup.
In the network access policies, we have this
Okay.
login IP. We are saying that.
अरे यार, नेटवर्क एक्सेस पॉलिसी होता है, क्विक फाइंड बॉक्स में जाओ, वहां पे नेटवर्क एक्सेस पॉलिसी लिख दो, ठीक है?
तो उससे हम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को एक्सेस दे सकते हैं, आप ये बोल रहे हो?
ऑर्गेनाइजेशन मतलब ये org लेवल पे आईपी रेंज सेट कर रहे हो आप?
हाँ
हाँ, वो org लेवल में मतलब सब प्रोफाइल के यूजर, किसी को भी वेरिफिकेशन कोड नहीं आएगा, कोई भी लॉगिन करे तो।
ओके ओके
ठीक है, गॉट इट? हाँ, ओके फाइन, ओके, ठीक है। सो दैट इज क्लियर। सो व्हाट इज लॉगिन आवर्स?
लाइक कितने से कितने टाइम तक हम काम कर सकते हैं, उसके बाद अगर हम काम करने का चाहे तो हम नहीं लॉग इन कर सकते।
या मनसा, इज शी करेक्ट?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, so let's say I'm asking you one question. So let's say you have some work. So you are getting one work in a Salesforce. Okay, you are getting some work from the Salesforce, and so what will you do? Means I'm not saying to create any development part, admin part, and anything. So what will be your approach? What will you understand first, and how will you go there? You are as a team lead in a company.
Like I am getting some work, like user story I have got.
Not
How-
user story. No, not user story. So company, let's say you need to create your internal work for the company. Let's take in this way only. Okay, you need to create
So
a
you mean like we have set some login? You mean like we have set some login hours, and after the login hours timing finished, then we will be assigned when the work gets assigned to us. Then how do we?
no
log
one
in?
will assign the work to you.
So,
No
I
one
mean,
will
like,
assign
if we want to do the work.
No. See,
No, he's asking about after hours or something like that.
no.
आप ये बोल
No. What I'm saying, see, you are a senior Salesforce developer in your company. Your company totally dependent on you, so they hired you because you will bring new functionality in Salesforce. They will A client will make you like they will explain the business functionality only. Okay, they will explain the business functionality. Mean this is my team and I need to create this kind of functionality. The email should be sent to there and this kind of things, whatever. So you need to design the everything
Mhm.
from your side. Like you will create the task, you will do the each and everything, you will spread your team. Like technically you have to go from zero level, like from where you will start and how will you do it step by step, tell me.
SDLC approach will follow, right?
Hmm.
Like requirements gathering, brainstorming of these ideas.
Not, don't go
I
to
don't
theoretical part.
like.
Practically I'm asking how will you do it.
uh,
Let's say tomorrow be like be serious for 2 minutes only, and let's concentrate on that level. You are the team leader in your company. Okay, you have around 10 years of experience. Now company is totally dependent on you, team is also totally dependent on you. So how will you understand the requirement? How will you do the things? And how will you track the things? And which kind of approach you will follow?
okay. Uh,
Agile methodology.
so sorry, agile methodology. Yeah.
Array, don't go to theoretical. I'm telling you na. Tell me, explain
अच्छा
each and every.
agile में जो होता है वो बताएं क्या सब कुछ जो होता
हाँ,
है.
सब कुछ बताओ.
अच्छा. So when business comes up with some ideas, okay, first we look into those things, okay, what can be done and what cannot be done. So we will go step by step. Okay, first we go with like suppose they want um, some objects to be this is the thing. First we want some data to be created, and then some flow should happen. So uh, we'll take some estimate time for that. Like we will
No,
make
no.
a division.
Mansa, you explain.
Uh, I was not sure, but I'll try to explain. I, being the tech lead, along with the project manager, we have a discussion with the business team. Once we
Uh-huh.
get the clear idea of the business requirement,
Uh-huh.
then we will discuss with the developers and the tech lead uh, um, uh, about the requirements, and we will sort out the uh, prerequisites for the business functionality, and then we'll go through all the prerequisites like what should be done and what is the best method we can do, and then so after the and we'll